Hey y'all, welcome to another episode of the panel, people. I've got Jimmy here. How you doing, Slim Jim?
I'm doing great. Thank God. Weather's beautiful. It was 89 degrees today.
Wow, that sounds hot, Jimmy.
It's hot, baby. It's hot. How
Yeah,
you doing?
I'm not. I'm doing pretty good myself. It was like in the 60s up here, but it was nice. It was,
Wow.
yeah.
That's not bad.
No, not bad at all. Not bad at all. Yeah, and I had a little. What did I smoke before I came in here? Some San Fernando Valley OG Kush. That shit was good. It's got me feeling right too. So I'm ready. I'm ready, and I'm a firecracker tonight. Pew pew pew. So
You got it. Let's go. I'm ready too.
all right, awesome. So look, I'm gonna show you guys something that I found earlier today, and it was Dave Chappelle, right? Because he started a new show called Midnight Madness.
Yes.
He was on there and he was talking about his show. And I'm gonna play a quick little clip for you guys. Hopefully, it's pretty quick. It should be pretty quick. Five, four, three, two. Let's go away. Bada bing. Skip ads. All right, so this is from Comedy Hype. Cat Williams is Can you hear it? Talking point happening in the world of comedy. Earlier last week, Dave Chappelle released a new episode of his podcast, The Midnight Miracle, co-hosted by Talib Kweli and Yasin Bey. Now, for a very special episode, they would invite comedy legend Cat Williams on the show as a guest. On the newly released episode, they will all show respect as entertainers and discuss parts of navigating in Hollywood. In the opening of the conversation, Dave will speak on the time he confronted Williams about dissing him on Twitter. Well, yeah, what happened was, okay, I tried to sign up on Twitter, and I put my name in and said, this name is already in use. And you can't use celebrity names. I'm like, that's odd. So I went to see who was using it, and it was a fake Dave Chappelle. This nigga had like my pictures, and this is when Twitter was brand new. And I thought, I got to put a stop to this. But then I started reading this nigga's tweets, and they were hilarious. I figured, this will work out. I don't got to pay this guy or nothing. And I've been getting this good comedy reputation. And every morning I wake up and get some coffee and just check in on Twitter and see what this fake Dave Chappelle fellow was up to. Funny stuff every morning, but then he goes rogue. He starts like attacking celebrities that are friends of mine. And of all these celebrities, Cat Williams. Well, Cat Williams wasn't having that shit. So fake Dave Chappelle started going in on it. And the problem was that Cat Williams was saying things to fake Dave Chappelle that was hurting real Dave Chappelle's feelings. Dave would reveal beef shouldn't have happened in the first place because Cat didn't have Twitter at the time. I catch up with Cat in LA. Do you remember this? And I'm like, Cat, can I talk to you for a second? He's like, of course. And I go, away from Shook. I just want you to know, never had a Twitter account. Cat's like, so the fuck what? I've never had a Twitter account either. I was like, what? I still don't have a Twitter. It turns out it was fake Dave Chappelle and fake Cat Williams. Cat's fake was the great thing. The clip was circulated on Instagram, causing some to share the response. One user would go on the right, and the real crazy part is both fakes may have been the same person. Now, there's no word on who was behind the Twitter accounts. That's funny. The jokes that were reportedly
That's
said.
very funny.
Now, here's a couple from Fake Cat. Let me see if you can read. Yo ass mad because you can't grow no damn hair, looking like a bald-headed Wiz Khalifa and shit. At Dave Chappelle. Look like an extra in a Feed the Children commercial. At Dave Chappelle. Walmart employee tweeting on your break. Go figure out how to get your career back. Now, fake
My God.
respond with career. Cat Williams, I make more in a 30-minute gig than you did in shows, DVDs, and home invasions combined. I heard Cat Williams also tried to burglarize Rachel Ray's house for a hot meal and some extra virgin olive oil for a perm touch-up. Hey, Cat Williams, like an 80-year-old Antoine Dotson that steals because he ain't get Social Security checks. From research, it appears
Wow.
few dates back to 2011, and since then, it still doesn't appear that Dave nor Cat are officially on Twitter. In March 2012, Chappelle looks to have tried to join the social app, But after just 5 days of tweeting, he was going to send a farewell message.
Yeah.
This account has been hacked.
Wow.
Leaving it officially bogus. Sincerely, Chappel David K.
See?
A part of the newest episode of the Midnight Miracle podcast, we'll hear from Kat about things he's always avoided in Hollywood, and Yasin Bey will share his insight on what being great means. So let's talk about it more in the comments below. And between the real Dave Chappelle and Cat Williams.
So that was funny, man. So I thought I'd share that with you guys because I thought that was a funny clip. They're going at each other.
I want to tell you, I think his show is going to be awesome, like he always is. The old Dave Chappelle show on Comedy Central.
Heck yeah! I love Dave.
Was great. I loved when he had Paul Mooney on.
Oh yeah, Negro Namas. What did you like?
Did you ever hear Negro Damas talk about Michael Jackson? Negro Damas said,
go ahead.
A white girl asked him a question, and he said about Michael Jackson, and he said Michael Jackson should have been a priest. Then he would have got away with it.
Oh wow!
Paul Mooney to me was one of the funniest guys around.
Oh yeah.
Him and Dave Chappelle got along because their humor struck each other so well, you know.
Yeah.
And the late Charlie Murphy. Charlie Murphy was
he was hilarious.
Charlie Murphy's Hollywood Stories was ridiculous.
Oh yeah. I can't wait. I hope Dave comes back stronger, harder, and even better because I like to see him be successful. And he's done a couple.
Well, he's one of my favorite. Him and Maniscalco are my favorite comedians. I actually think he's funnier than him. Dave Chappelle's probably one of the funniest guys on the face of the earth. I mean, he's just hysterical. I've never seen one thing that I didn't like, especially that R. Kelly bit he did. So I'm looking forward to this show. I think the show is going to be awesome.
So shout out to Dave. I fucks with Dave, but I have seen something I didn't like, and it was this was years ago, and he was just starting out, and we went to the Village, and he was trying some new material, and he was whack as hell. That man owed me a drink. He bought me my drink too.
Are you serious?
Yeah, because I was sitting in the front, and the look on my face was not like I wasn't laughing.
You what?
I was bored. He was boring me, and he was like, "Why are you looking so mean?" And I was like, "Yo, man, you ain't funny, shit." But now,
oh my.
I cracked the fuck up at him. I think it's hilarious. I think it was just testing out some new material, and some of the stuff was good, some of the stuff was not. And that's how it is. They'll show up, do like a stand-up thing someplace just to test out the material, see if it's good, and push from there. So yeah, that was in the beginning days. I want to say that was 2000, either 5, 6, or 7, somewhere around then.
Wow.
Yeah. Good times. But shout out to Dave. He's doing his thing.
Dave, good luck, man. Good luck.
Definitely good luck.
It's amazing how they pick on celebrities, and he did in a way, an ironic way, say he made a mistake when he didn't accept that offer of $125 million, but he also had burnout,
Oh yeah.
He had burnout, and he went to South Africa.
A lot of hate mail. I can't believe he wouldn't get a lot of hate mail. Anybody that stands up for anybody else is going to get some hate mail. So just him standing on his own principles and doing his skit. One of my favorites was the black guy that was the KKK. That was my absolute favorite skit.
When he did the KKK?
Yes, when the black guy.
Oh my God. He
Charles
divorced
Dixon,
his wife.
Yeah, because
he divorced his wife because I got to tell you, man, he is out there. I mean, he really goes to the extreme, and that's why I like Paul Mooney, because Paul Mooney, God rest his soul, he made a lot of sense, and he was really a very verbal comedian.
Oh yeah.
And he made fun of everybody. People like, he made fun of black, white. He made fun of everybody. Exactly. I mean, if you were doing it, he was making fun of it,
Yeah. And I think that's fair. I think that is totally fair. So you made a comment just now, and you said people are picking on these celebrities, and I agree with you. I was reading, and there were a couple of defamation lawsuits out there. So a defamation lawsuit, what's his name? FTN Bay
What?
accused.
What?
So there's a lot of defamation
You
lawsuits
mean by
going
Dave
on.
Chappelle?
No. This has nothing to do with Dave. This is a whole nother story.
Oh, this is that other guy, right? Right.
So they are kicking it with the defamation lawsuits, man. It's crazy. It's absolutely crazy. And there we go. Dutchy. What's good with you,
Hey,
boo?
Dutch, how
Hello.
are you, babe?
Trying to
Hello.
figure out why my screen always looks weird on here, man. Let me try this real quick. Let me clean it up a little bit.
Man, no.
No, I don't think that did much of anything. I
We can
tried.
see you now.
Yeah,
Dang
You're
it.
I
doing
was
great.
looking a little. I was looking a little
We were just
dingy over
talking
here.
about the new Dave Chappelle show.
Yeah.
Oh wait, what? There's
Dave
a
Chappelle
what?
has a new show called Midnight Madness. It's a
Oh really?
podcast. Yep, it's a podcast.
Okay, that sounds
Yeah,
interesting.
it was. And so we were talking about how Dave
Well,
and Cat Williams was beefing on Twitter, and come to find out, neither one of them had a Twitter.
how? Oh, okay.
So
So
there were
social
fake
media strikes
accounts.
again.
Yeah, social media struck again. And the social media account, he was like, yo, I was watching it and it was kind of funny. So I just let dude run. But then he started going rogue and attacking my friends. So
Yeah, that's funny.
That is funny. So how's everybody's week going?
not too bad, man. Not too bad at all. Not
A
too bad.
little hectic, very hot.
Yeah, down there by him, he said it's 89 degrees.
It was 89 degrees today.
Yeah, man. Yeah, I wish my dudes would stick with it. But yeah, so I was talking about defamation lawsuits, man. They all over the place, aren't they?
Yes.
People are suing
Everybody's
people like
suing
it's
everybody for every little
yeah.
thing.
But celebrities are getting like really pissed off and suing folks. They getting tired of the shit. Nikki's even suing that one chick, Nosy Hose, for what, $75,000 or something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Defamation suit. There's another one. Cardi kind of set a trend with the suing bloggers because it's beyond just reporting. These are people that are saying that these are facts.
Yeah.
And what's happening is it's causing a really big issue. And when we're done with this particular topic, I want to follow up on this topic with something else that could possibly be potentially dangerous in regards to hearsay.
I mean, go ahead and kick it off.
Well, speaking on social media and robotics in the artificial intelligence industry, we just had an engineer who was able to completely mimic, I think it was Kendrick Lamar's voice, and actually he did a song. He was able to recreate his voice. Now, here's the problem that we're going to have with this. Now you won't be able to believe anything that you hear because now voices are starting to be mimicked in a very precise manner.
Yeah, it's amazing. Amazing.
So now somebody could say something and this is your voice, it's a recording, but you didn't say it.
That's some messed up stuff. I mean, they could be using this technology for other stuff, like giving people who don't have voices the ability to speak and stuff like that. Instead, they're trying to mimic celebrities and make a dime off of it. You know what I mean? Or destroy their character or build their character. But either way, it's all phony shit, you know?
Yeah.
Like, yeah, that's crazy.
Well, McDonald's is going fully automated, right?
Well, I kind
really?
of had but see, I've kind of known this was going to happen for a few years, and because they've already done it to the Walmarts here. Most of these Walmarts are there no cashiers or most
I think
self-checkouts.
grocery stores are going that way too, man. Even if the grocery stores are doing it, it's hey Sophia Smith, thanks for joining us. But
Hi, Sophia.
yeah, it's crazy out there. Everything is
Hey,
becoming automated. I
if
gotta
you
bag
go to
my own
pay your
fucking groceries. It's crazy, and I still paying the
yeah.
same price. Like I should get a
Hey, if you
cheaper
go to pay
discount.
your bill, you're talking to an automated system.
Mm-hmm.
They say it answers you back. Are you sure? No. And look at a lot of these major big companies are doing it. Amazon, they're pushing and paying for these companies to do that because they want to get rid of the labor force because the robots will work 24/7 and people won't. And they don't care, you know.
Yeah, but who's back there making the burgers?
It's
I
it's
mean,
very strange.
nobody's really made a burger in a long time, if you really think about it. What's happened is a machine pushes out the meat. Like for instance, Burger King. Many years ago, they came up with this very speedy way of putting out the flame broiled burger without ever having to touch it until it comes out. The patty comes out, and then you got to put it on the bread. So right now, a machine can dial up a certain amount of ketchup and a certain amount of mustard, and there's a machine
Let it.
that could put and it's all synchronized to where it's going to be the exact amount every single time, and burgers won't have to be flipped. I mean, really, burgers don't have to be flipped now, but we just haven't gone full AI. And for all you know, how do you know it's an actual human flipping your burgers?
I really don't.
Now,
I've never
and
worked fast food either, so I would never know. You know what I mean?
no, but
Still.
what I'm saying, a human flipping your burgers, you know, movies come from a part of reality,
Oh,
a
facts.
sense of in a sense of creativity, right? Now we're aware that there's something called mass pandemonium or mass hysteria. Do you really think your government would tell you that there's been AIs making your burgers for the last 10 years just to see how
No.
they work in the public without us knowing? But could it happen?
Yeah,
Absolutely.
it's
Would we
probably
know?
happening right now.
Well, that's my point. But
Yeah.
you're not going to know this because they want to avoid mass hysteria. And how do you avoid mass hysteria? By not giving the public full disclosure. So how
Right.
else would you test AIs out in the public? You would do it quietly. You would put them in a chain where they have to interact. You understand what I'm saying? See how realistic they look. It might even be a chain where it's mostly drive-throughs. It might be something where you're only getting they started making sex dolls years ago that actually resemble real women, and the more you interact with it, it's a smart doll, the more it is catering to your specific likes. When they started doing that and they looked very human, that was it for me right then. So I was just waiting on a matter of fact when somebody at Taco Bell was gonna have a glitch making my fucking taco.
Wow.
Yeah, that's craziness.
Look at the Air Force. They have planes that fly, you know, or they have tanks that they're
Unarmored
experimenting with now.
vehicles. Yeah. Or
Yeah.
Tesla, doesn't
unmanned
Tesla drive itself now? A lady was
unmanned
asleep at the
vehicles.
wheel in a Tesla car. So why can't they make a human? Why can't they put human skin on a machine, a human cyber skin on a machine that can already do
That's
that?
probably coming.
If it hasn't happened already.
I'm saying it's already, yeah, I think
Yeah, I think she said it's already going on.
yeah.
The sex dolls.
We have things that are already AI driven. We have phones that are not phones anymore. Your phone hasn't been a phone in a long time.
Not
What
since
you
Apple
have,
did the smartphones.
once it became a smartphone, and now in this day and age, my iPhone has my wallet. My iPhone has my information stored in it. I have to find encrypted places to send messages and shit. My iPhone, if it's lost, I can track it. I can track everything else that is my earbuds. I
Attached
can
to it.
track them. I can track my PC. My shit's hooked up to my Mac. I can track my iPad. If somebody steals my shit. My PC, after somebody tries to continuously, or any of these devices, they'll shut down after 10 tries. They'll completely wipe everything. 20, 30 years ago, that
Unbelievable.
was some shit, right? But 20, 30 years ago, that was some James Bond shit. You know what I mean? You have a
Yeah.
device that does all this shit, and then the wrong person gets it and it wipes itself. But we literally
Yeah.
have devices that we pay for that
do that
like
now.
that. It
Yeah.
does it now.
Because you remember those messages? This message was self-destruct after.
Yeah, Inspector Gadget.
Yeah.
Now the phone will completely shut down, and you could pick an option where, and it will wipe all the information that's on the phone to protect your data. So it's a gift and it's a curse.
It is. It definitely is, man. Definitely is. Yeah, yeah. So let's see what else I want to talk about. Kodak Black, fentanyl. Y'all hear about that?
Yes. So it's bullshit. And he shortly thereafter, within hours, it was already reported that a starstruck fan was the actual employee and mixed up his sample.
Wow.
So either he paid for that or somebody really fucked up. But yeah, it's already been reported. So now, since the judge has that information, they're going to retest next week, and it's going to be a strand sample, and they'll allow him now to go into a 30-day inpatient program.
Okay.
Yeah. He skated on that though.
He be skating. I mean, Trump pardoned him. So he been skating for a minute. And he's had other charges in 2019, 2020, you know. Or
yeah, he skated.
Yeah.
You know. So
wow. That's crazy.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, that's some crazy stuff. And then now all these people are coming out claiming that these celebrities are their dads. You hear that? Like, what's this kid's name? Love Benji? Looks just like LL.
They've been doing that for a while. You know how many kids have claimed that they belong to Michael Jackson?
Yeah, I don't think Michael Jackson was fucking.
Yeah, it's a little out there. That whole.
Yeah, it's been. I don't think it's anything new. I think again, it's just.
But this kid does favor this man. I'm trying to tell you.
Oh wow.
I don't know. Everybody has a doppelganger. They say you have 3 doppelgangers in life. So.
You think he's a doppelganger?
I'm not quick to rush and say that's his son.
I need to see receipts. That's what I.
And the reason why I say that is because LL has very average features. There's a lot of men that look like the Wish version or the Amazon version of LL. So because he doesn't have very distinctive features, he has very common, you know, there's a guy somewhere in Cali that looks like him, somewhere in Texas that looks like him, you know.
Spread out all across the world.
Yeah, so for me, that's a little hard. If it's got to be somebody with really distinctive features for me to kind of entertain it.
Okay, all right.
Yeah, but don't they just do a DNA test? Can't they just do
a DNA?
You know,
yeah, they can.
Yeah.
But LL has blocked them. I mean, you got to be a participant in that, right? So LL's blocked them. They ain't speaking no more type shit. You know.
No more. They were speaking before?
The kid claims that LL used to send him $200 every couple of months.
Wow.
That's why I want to see receipts. If I see receipts that prove that he got $200, then I may, you know.
I was going to say, yeah, I need the receipts for that, because if you know the ways of the world now and you have social media, before you even make that claim and you know it's somebody famous, I would expect you to already know that people are going to ask for receipts, so why not have them together already?
Exactly.
Right.
And just be ready to share that shit. But hell, this hasn't been, so this happened to Eddie Murphy a few years back. It happened to freaking, and Eddie Murphy sued that kid.
But let me ask y'all something. How many times has this happened and it actually came out that it was the celebrity's kid? I cannot remember
a time where it actually happened. Yeah. Yeah.
Jay-Z's had a secret baby in the islands for years. Now, that's not to say that these things don't happen, but I just think by a psychologically thinking on how humans behave, human behavior.
Yeah.
Your first response would not be to go on social media. It would be to try to communicate this with them and try to, you know, and you would have, and you would have receipts. Even if you don't have receipts of the $200, you would at least have the receipts of a communication about something between the two of you. So if nothing else, if you can't provide anything else, at least provide some sort of communication amongst the two of you to say, at least that raises reasonable doubt. You know what I mean? Like, okay, we don't know if this is true or not. Because if it
Right.
wasn't, why did you communicate? Because then you can say, well, hey, I've been trying to get him to call such and such, or trying to get him to court to do. But if you don't have any of that, everything else you're talking about right now is just a
some
frivolous
bullshit.
fucking claim.
Yeah.
That's true.
Yeah.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So what's up with this Biden administration? You know I'm coming for you, Jim.
Well, I got to tell you something. You know, we're in a little bit of a problem. You know, there's a lot of things going on that I don't think anybody in this country likes.
Mhm.
You know, this Russian aggression and all this nonsense and all the money. The foreign now he's moving a large amount of Navy vessels to the South Pacific, which is a little, you know, and he said it's a joint venture with Japan pertaining to North Korea and China. I think it's all about Taiwan because, again, Taiwan is a big supplier with us on goods because we don't make a lot of goods here. I
Everything
mean,
says made in China
I
or
just ordered
Taiwan.
something from Wayfair and it was made in Taiwan.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, so we don't know what's going on. I don't like, you know, there's a lot of other countries helping the Ukraine, but Biden, I think, has become very secretive about a lot of things that he's doing. And I don't think the administration is being open about the information they're given. And I'm concerned because, look, Warren Buffett and a lot of very smart people are saying that we're in trouble. We're going to be in a little bit of trouble.
Yeah, I feel it.
Is that true?
The stock market is telling me that. You know what I mean? Like I'm watching my stock fall, and I understand and he's losing people from his staff left and right. This month or this week, former mayor, Atlanta Mayor Keisha Lance Bottoms left from her White House role, and he made promises to folks that he ain't keeping. Man, he made promises. He made promises about dealing with federalized cannabis consumption. He made a lot of promises that he ain't keeping, and he could have done some of this shit before the Republicans took the Senate.
Well, I got to tell you now, the Republicans are stopping a lot of stuff that he wants to do.
Yeah, but he could have done it before they got in.
Exactly, I agree with you.
Time.
I agree with you. What bothers me is that, yes, there was a lot of lapse in time on him not being aggressive to get this stuff done. And the Republicans, honestly, they control the House now. And that's it. Once the Republicans control the House, they're going to stop a lot of stuff that Biden is doing, you know?
Well, but we expect that, right? We expect that to happen.
Yeah.
I mean, I expect, like, even when Obama was in there, you know, he had a Republican House and a Republican Senate. And it was, you know, at some point, you just expect everything that he's putting together to get blocked because they didn't care for him. So Biden should have
Can I tell you something? If they allowed Obama to do what he wanted to do, we would have been debt free like when Clinton was in office. We actually had surplus. Obama started bringing up our surplus, but you got to remember, none of the officials in this country or the government or the you know the three heads of state really don't care about us. You know,
they give zero fucks, but don't get up there and make promises for votes and then just totally turn your back on the whole community that you promised some shit to. You know?
Yeah.
And that's kind of where I'm feeling with it. Yeah, it'll be interesting to see how the next election turns out. I hope he knows that he's probably not going to win another term.
Well, I think he's too damn old now. I honestly, look at the and Trump is no young chicken. He's going to be 76 when he goes into office, and he ain't no
no, but he's an old ass rooster.
Yep. I mean, I just look. I'm a moderate. I don't believe in any of the parties.
Yeah, I'm
I
independent as well.
think both parties are crooked. Again, who's that Senator Richmond? From where the heck was he from? I'm trying to think. He said something very good. He said, what senator in this country looks at every bill that they come in to pass? And the Republicans and the Democrats, all they do is fight against each other to make each one of them look bad. So the next party gets in. I mean, the Republicans screwed up. Every time a Republican was in, we were in debt. We had problems. And that goes back to Reagan, both Bushes. You know, Clinton had to clean up a lot of mess that that the old man Bush did. Brought in surplus. Bush came in, 9/11, and brought the country to its knees in chaos.
Yeah.
When Trump came in, Trump really messed up a lot of things. And honestly, the Democrats are always left to clean up. I'm not a Democrat. I don't believe in a lot of their policies. I think everybody's too flamboyant. I think Kamala Harris is too flamboyant. They're not making much sense when they speak.
Kamala?
The Kabbalah.
The
That's what I
Kabbalah.
call it.
Yeah. Yeah. She came.
Yeah, you know, I don't think any. They're not. Again, this country is not based on the people. We're the ones that are recklessly getting hit. He is. The gas is going down because he's fighting the system that is controlled by the Republicans. But it was very difficult. I mean, gas right now is $3.09 here. It was $3.56 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
So he is trying to push this stuff in, but the House is controlled by Republicans now. That's very dangerous because they're going to stop, and between the Senate and the Congress, stop everything. And they did it to Obama. They did it to Clinton.
That's why I'm pissed. That is why I'm pissed, because he had an opportunity. He had 11 months to get his shit together and pass those bills. 11 months he had to make right on the promises that he made, specifically to the people of African American color. He made a lot of promises to us that he ain't kept. He promised to pardon guys that are in jail for cannabis distribution on the federal level. He ain't signed a pardon. He could have did all of it prior.
I agree with you. I agree with you. There's a lot of people incarcerated in New York alone too on cannabis-related charges, and it's crazy. You know,
they shouldn't be in there. They
should not be in there. They're in there with hardened criminals. These guys are passing around joints and trying to sell a couple of bags, and they got caught with a couple of pounds of pot. And they're literally destroying their lives. They're not harming anybody. They're not trying to sell fentanyl and all kinds of crazy stuff. And yeah, I agree with you. The system has to change. Marijuana has to be legalized the same way they legalized alcohol.
On a federal level. On a federal
level.
But that's what he promised, and it's not being done. He promised a lot of stuff to us, and it's not happening. And I knew it wasn't gonna happen because he called me a super predator. Shit.
Oh Lord.
Same thing with Kamala.
I know.
He started that whole 3 strikes you're outlaw in California. She's got so many people of minorities and disenfranchised folks in jail. It's a damn shame.
Yeah, and the 3 strike out rule means you go to jail for life imprisonment for selling weed.
Stupid.
Come on, man.
Not even selling weed. Something
it could be. So listen, a guy stole a slice of pizza because
that's what I was going to say. You could steal some food.
So he actually did steal some food. He stole a slice of pizza, but he was already on the 3 strike rule, and that was his third strike prison. That's it.
For the rest of his life. For a piece of pizza.
Over a slice of pizza?
Yes.
He stole a slice of pizza. Yeah. I remember it made a lot of news because of that, because it was like that 3 strike rule applies to any crime. Doesn't matter how big or how small. Jaywalking. He stole a slice of pizza. And some people were like, well, you shouldn't be stealing. But you don't know if this dude was hungry. You don't know circumstances. You don't know his or maybe, not saying that there was any, but the fact is we don't know what they were.
Exactly.
Yeah, pizza.
Yeah, yeah.
Wow.
So, but this is all Kamala Harris is doing. This was her. She put this
Yeah.
shit in place. And yeah, she, as far as I'm not a fan. I'm not a fan. Hey, Frank, thanks for joining us. Frank Lewis.
No, I agree with you guys. It is very sad. It's been, this country's been like this even when Lincoln was around. I mean, I don't see it changing. I see a lot of people aggressively wanting to change it. That's why a lot of people invaded the Capitol, because well, I mean, it was a lot of bullshit and the storyline of why that happened, but people are getting tired of how the government controls us. When we got to pay bills, just let the middle class or the lower class, we'll tax the federal dollars out of their check, and that's how we'll make up. Do you know how much revenue comes into this country a week?
Oh, yeah.
From the taxes? Yeah, and listen, rich people don't pay taxes.
They don't. They write everything.
They don't. Trump is a living proof of it. They can loophole and tax structure, and they have the money to buy the lawyers and the accountants. Some of the accountants that these millionaires use charge like $10,000 a week just to handle their affairs, personal, not their business.
They're saving them millions.
It's millions, right? It's millions and millions of dollars, and me, you, and everybody can't afford to pay that. We can't pay people to get us out of a tax structure. It's no way. Hey, buddy, you made $700 last week. We're going to take $250 out of your paycheck so you can barely buy food and pay your car insurance and have a house.
Exactly.
So where does it? No matter what, the Democrats and the Republicans. It's like Shaughnessy, who's that senator from Vermont? He said, unless we bug the system and get rid of lobbyists, it ain't going to happen. Paul Manafort. I worked for Paul Manafort with Manhattan Pictures. The things that he was telling me were disgusting. He said, Jimmy, we go in, lobbyists will tell senators, hey, this we got to pass because we could all make a buck, and I'll hook up your grandkids with jobs. And they sign it. They don't know the recklessness. It happened with Reagan, with the trickle-down economy. Oh, Ronald, come on, please. If we do this, we can put more money into the country. That's not what happened. Reagan was a Republican, and what he did, all these corporations were taxed 90%. Do you hear what I just said? 90%. Now they're not even taxed 14 and 7%. Sometimes they get furloughs and they don't even pay taxes. And instead of the trickle-down system that they invented for everybody to benefit, became an absolute disaster, because that's when you started seeing guys taking 40, 50, 60 million dollar bonuses. They took the money and put it in their pocket. They never gave it to the country. Obama, did you see what Obama did with AIG? He lent them, here's 150 million to get out of your well, I know it was probably more. But the minute Obama saw them taking bonuses, he called them up immediately and said, hey, gentlemen, you got 2 days to give the money back, or you guys are getting owned by us. We're going to take over your company.
See?
AIG, when it was reckless, because Bush allowed 500,000 bad loans. I'm talking about millions and millions of dollars of 500,000 bad loans. Obama still cleaned that up. And when Ford and Chrysler needed money, Obama said, hey, you have X amount of years to pay us back. You don't pay us back, we're taking 51% of your country. You know what Ford and Chrysler did? They didn't take a dollar because they didn't need it. And we don't have that bond with the people. I think Clinton and Obama were the only two presidents that were really, truly there for the people. And we despised both of them. You know, he got. Did he cut down the government and the army? It's better that he did that than have no army. I mean, he was brilliant. Clinton was very brilliant. They were the two greatest presidents in this country, and we hated them. because they cared about the people. Obama did more for children. But you got Bush, Reagan, all these people, they don't give two craps. Reagan signed off on detaxing corporations so they can make bonuses. That's why these corporations still make all these bonuses.
Yeah.
And we're paying the bill. We're making Amazon richer. We're making all these companies richer. I seen a line going into McDonald's. McDonald's brings in, I think it's $380 million every month
Wow.
or something like that. Yeah, it's $380 million a month that McDonald's brings in a month. $380 million. So just think about, and we're just enterprising all these companies. You're not going to get every single person to boycott all these people. I guarantee you that if we all boycotted Amazon and we went back to going to stores where mom and pop stores are absolutely obsolete now, it's all big corporations, big business. I saw 15 companies go out of business in small places, and all I do is see Miller Air House. Miller Air House is a big
You finished with
corporation.
what?
Yeah. You're right. So look.
You finished with what?
Hey, Dutchie, can you throw us on mute, honey? So did you see what Frank Lewis, the YA baby, said? He said it's time for the Electoral College to go, to be taken away, and make every vote count, and things will change. Yeah.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, it is
They
time.
tried to do that. They tried to do that in the 50s.
Yeah.
They tried to do that in the 50s, and it's 100% right.
Yeah. It's an antiquated
system. Because Hillary Clinton won by 3 million votes, but she lost the electoral college.
Yeah. And then what's up, great grandson? Thanks for checking in, brother. And then he was commenting on, damn, the big neck. Yeah, man, it's crazy out there. It's absolutely crazy out there. It's so crazy that 2 guys killed a bald eagle and were preparing to eat him. Did you hear that shit?
Oh my God. I didn't think, I was praying that wasn't true, but it was true.
Yeah. In Nebraska, 2 men have been cited for killing a American bald eagle and planning to make a meal of him. It ain't that hard in Nebraska, is it? I mean, I've been there and people seem like they're doing all right.
Listen, we don't have the scruples that we had. You know, I grew up, I was a teenager in the 70s, and it was way different. There wasn't internet. There wasn't smartphones. Nobody had a phone. You had a beeper. You went to a payphone and called somebody. You didn't know what every...
beepers in the 70s?
Yeah.
Jeez. Okay.
They were huge. Yep.
I got my first one in the 90s, but beepers in the 70s. It's crazy out there.
Well, they had cell phones in the 70s, but it was like $1,000 for a minute. It was expensive. Only very wealthy people had it, but they had cell phones for a long time. It wasn't available to the public. Definitely not now.
Yeah.
Everything's changing. The world is becoming very manipulative, very hateful, very spiteful. And again, it's the hardships that everybody is enduring. This is not a color race. This is a human race. And this human race that we're racing to go nowhere. We try to get 2 steps ahead, but we find ourselves falling 4 steps behind.
Yeah, it's crazy. You see what Frank Lewis, the YA baby, says? He says, look at this. In Vegas, we passed legislation to allow those on probation and parole to vote this general election, and they were told they would be violated.
Hey, this is wrong. I'm sorry. If somebody does something wrong, you're going to punish him for the rest of his life.
That's what I'm saying.
Take everything away.
If you've done the crime, you've done the time, like you should have your rights restored.
That's right. Get back out in the world and just don't do it again.
Yeah. And in DC, they allow you to vote while in jail. Sure do.
I can't trust that. If you can't make it, because if your ass made bad decisions to go to and ended up in jail, how the hell can I trust your decision to vote? That's just,
Okay,
and
that
I'm
makes
not
a
saying
little sense.
that's not everybody. I'm not saying just because you're in jail that you shouldn't have a right to vote. But what I'm saying is you've already made a poor fucking decision. And you've made enough poor decisions, or one poor enough, that landed your ass in jail. How can I trust your decision-making process? Because one, you're incarcerated. You being incarcerated takes you out of the general population of public, right?
Yeah.
So
Society.
I feel like if you're incarcerated, all the things that are going on in incarceration, those bills and those legislations that need to be passed, I do feel like incarcerated persons will be able to better tell us, because we're not incarcerated. We don't know what the fuck is going on in those prisons, and a lot of shitty things happen.
Mm-hmm.
Vice versa.
Well, I agree
We're
with you.
out
If you are incarcerated, you should be able to vote until you get out and
Well,
now
rehabilitate.
we're out here. So us being out here, we're dealing with the shitty shit that's happening out here. You understand? And in order to make
Yeah, that
a
makes sense.
valuable vote, you have to be a part of what is going on. And that's not to exclude prisoners, because they have fuck shit going on too. But I do think that they shouldn't be ignored. They should have bills and laws and shit and legislations passed for them, by them, because they're the ones that have to live in those conditions. They're the ones that have to deal with that. So I don't think that they need to be ignored either. But there needs to be those are two separate issues. So you being locked up, I don't know if I feel comfortable with your ass telling me what needs to be happening in your vote with what's going on out here. Unless there's stipulations to you being incarcerated, and those stipulations or you were, wrongfully convicted or some shit like that, but shit, until you're out, that doesn't matter.
but there are a lot of
Yeah,
people.
because you're not living in society. I agree with that. I agree with
Yeah.
that. If you're incarcerated, you shouldn't be allowed to do anything. When you get out and you do your time and you pay your dues for the wrongful things you did, and you're out in the system, yeah, then you could start voting. But I
But I
don't think
don't think you
anybody.
having a felony. I don't think you being incarcerated once you've been released. I don't think that should have anything to do with you voting. I think once you've been introduced back into society, you should have the same voting rights as everybody
Right.
else. But if
Right.
you're not in society and you already made a fucked up choice to be in a different society, then that's the society your ass need to be focused on.
Yeah, but a lot of
Yeah,
people
I could
are in
agree with.
there
I could agree with that.
convicted. Like, we're looking at all these people that are in there that are getting released because of DNA evidence, and these people really did not do crimes. And then
that's fine.
And then you got to look at the people that are disenfranchised and already selected to go to jail. Prison is a moneymaker. Like, once these prisons became private, I think that a lot of stuff went out the window.
So then let me ask you a question then. Then why would you want to vote for a system that has systematically oppressed you? Why would you want to participate in that shit then? Like, me personally, if you've oppressed me and I've been wrongfully convicted, the same fucking system that fucked me, I want no parts in, nor do I want to vote. Fuck y'all.
Nah, but I want to change the system. I'm trying. See, I feel like our people had it right when they started voting. People died for this right. And so I take advantage of that right, because my ancestors were treated like shit for this right. And so it's a big freaking deal for me to go and respect their rights. However, if I get, I don't know, locked up for something stupid, right? Since Biden hasn't released the federal, and I happen to be in a state where marijuana is legal, like that dude that we talked about once before, and he got locked up, right? And he had to do 20 years or 17 years in jail for selling cannabis in a state that was legal. He should still have his right to vote. I think until the justice system is fair, until we get a fair shake, until some of the jury members look like us, because I've never been called to a jury and I've been available to vote since I was 18 years old. So over 20, 30 years, I've been available to vote, and I've never sat on a jury. And I know I'm somebody's peer out there.
I know this is really fucked up, but if your ass got, like, because right now I can't determine if you were wrongfully convicted until it comes out that you were wrongfully convicted. You know what I mean? So it won't mean shit until we know that it's happened. until, because there's going to be a lot of people that said that they were wrongfully convicted, and some of them have been, and there's going to be a portion of them that weren't, that were rightfully convicted.
But
until we can determine it, we don't know. We can't prove it. So it's two motherfuckers for me. I don't want you to vote for my ass if your ass is locked up, and don't pray for me neither, because you need them prayers yourself. That's just how I feel.
No, I got.
No, listen, I agree with you. I agree with that, Dutch. Yeah. That makes sense. They're not in society. They shouldn't have to vote. If they were in society and they're a part of society again, then they can vote. But I think if you're incarcerated, you're not part of the system. You're not you're not paying taxes. You're not involved in work and doing things like everybody has in their daily lives. Your life is different. You're getting up, you're going to your meal, you're walking around the yard, you're out for an hour, and you're incarcerated. You're in that system.
But how do we determine? How do we determine those that are systematically really had an injustice that want to have an impact again, even if you've been wrongfully convicted, until you're out of the system and until you have walked out of the door, you're not paying taxes. I'm still paying for you. So
yeah, we're paying for them.
Now,
but you understand?
I have to determine it, you know.
I think until the legal system is fair across the board, and it is not.
Listen, nothing's fair in this country. Everybody thinks that we are the greatest democracy in the world.
Until we are fair, I don't think it's right. Until we are fairly treated as 100% citizens in this country, and I'm talking about the minorities, the disenfranchised, the people that have to go out and do certain things in order to survive.
But then that's a broad ass.
That piece of he had to steal.
But that's still that was fucked up. But I'm saying when we start talking about fair and we start talking about minorities, for shit to be really fair on an even playing field, that's a lot of fair to go around. Because now you got to think of not just minorities. Because I'm a woman before I'm anything. So you got to think about women's rights. Yes. You got to think about children's rights. Yes. You got to think about work labor's rights. Yes. You have to think about gay rights. You have to think about my fucking neighbor's rights, the fucking animal rights. There's so much shit that's unfair. Where the fuck do you start? Beyond just racism, we have many broken systems, not just one. And I think we focus so much on saying that there's the legal system is the only one that's broken when it's not. No, we have a multitude of broken systems.
Everything is broken. The banking system is broken. Everything is broken right now.
Our financial infrastructure is broken.
Until we start to fix shit, I don't think we should just cast them.
We're not going to fix it. This country, one of the biggest corporations, and Halliburton is involved in it as well. The food industry, the cleaning industry, and all the stuff to keep jails open is a multi-billion-dollar business a year. We're not going to stop it. We incarcerate people because there's big corporations are making too much money off of it. We are 75% of the people in this world are incarcerated in the United States. Mm-hmm. France, Germany, Italy have work release programs. They don't make the taxpayers pay for you. You're on a work release program. You got to go to work. You got to be a job. You got to be responsible. You have to check in a half an hour before work, and you have to stay a half an hour after. You do a rehab program that's set up by the company that you're working for. Here, no, what did that guy do? Oh, he sold weed. Yeah, put him in jail, and let's give these weed guys 5 years because we're gonna make the taxpayers pay for that guy, and we're gonna make a killing off of it. Mm-hmm. Why? Because we're paying for the food, we're paying for the clothes, we're paying for the supplies. They're supplying the lighting, the electrical. They're doing everything. They have their own maintenance program to the jails now that gets taxed by us. Every state has a tax just for that. Yep, we're gonna.
But even beyond that, Jimmy. I mean. I'm not even just going to say people that are incarcerated. We had this conversation before, and I can't remember one of the guys that was a guest on the panel for a little bit. He totally disagreed, but I still stand on what I said. I don't think everybody should vote until you understand the laws, what you're voting for, who the candidates are. A lot of people are voting just because they can vote.
Yeah.
We have the right to
voting for
vote.
people that look like them. I mean,
And that's what I'm saying. And we have the right to vote, and that's great. But just because you have the right does not mean that everybody needs to exercise it, because everybody does not understand politics. And if you don't understand, if you can't even tell people the different types of government, or you can't break anything down about how the governmental system works, should you really be voting until that shit's understood? So I think before anybody votes, I think you should have to fill out some shit that questions your understanding of being of who you're voting for and the other candidates. And if you can't if you cannot answer certain basics,
then you shouldn't be able to vote.
You shouldn't be allowed to vote. I think you
honestly,
should go back and have to know those things before you can actually cast your vote.
Almost like taking the immigration test. I get it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like you need to know these things about the government. You need to know about the judicial, the executive. You need to know these branches.
Well, nobody
and
knows.
I ain't talking about foreigners.
Yeah, but nobody knows the three. Nobody even knows the three heads of state. They don't even know. They have no clue.
And that's my point. That's my point.
Yeah.
There are so many people that really don't, and I'm talking about people that aren't incarcerated, people that have money, people that are always talking politics, but couldn't even give you the fucking basics, because that's not why they're casting their vote. They're casting their vote because they can. So I think all persons, once you are of legal age to vote,
you have to apply for your registration card. You should.
And you have to take a test. You have to pass a test.
You have to take a test. Yep. You have to pass a test. Whatever basic questions that the United States has that ensures that you actually understand what you're about to vote for. That you actually
agree to that, man. Totally.
What the fuck is going on? Because far too many times you have people, my friends, and you go on Facebook and everybody's got this I voted sticker and I voted sticker and I voted, and half of y'all don't even know what the fuck you voted for.
Or who.
Yeah.
Or who. We're gonna jump into some of these comments because Frank has a bunch of comments about the voting situation. But he says that is wrong if the wrong candidate runs. But today we have freedom fighters running for governor, DA, and even the judge. If we don't research and vote, the problem will continue. Yep. And then he says
gotta research.
He talks about Bob Barker Enterprise. The Price is Right dude is the king of jail cosmetics and clothes.
Yes, that is true.
He's making this money. Yep. I agree with you that you have to know what's on the ballot and who. And then, Dutchie, I'm tired of reading. You mind?
I was live yesterday with my gangbangers trying to teach. Sad we're from Inglewood and little homies don't even know what gentrification is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's happening in your community.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I do think we need to go back. We've gotten very far. The more technology, again, as 87 was saying, the more technology we have, the dumber we're getting. And it seems like when we had things very basic, we had a much better understanding of how things worked. We knew things like what the fuck gentrification meant because things were slowed down a little bit. But now technology has taken over. People have become lazy. There's an autocorrect.
Read a map.
That's what I'm saying.
Read a map anymore.
You don't have to. That's why you don't have to read a map anymore.
But you should know, because if your GPS goes out, how the fuck you gonna get where you're trying to go?
But that's also
that's
people
the
that don't
problem
read books.
Today, though.
You don't have to
go to your phone and put in an address.
They stopped my son. He said they stopped teaching. They don't teach cursive. I said bullshit. And here you're gonna learn cursive. You know why? Because when you go to sign a contract, you don't sign in print. You have to have a signature.
Yes.
Whenever you sign something, it says print and signature, always.
And they're not teaching kids that anymore.
But they really, Doc, you're very right about that. They really don't do that. They don't practice that. Horrible.
Yeah, it's like a foreign language to the young kids nowadays. Like I can write in cursive and slip you a note, and they'd never be able to read it.
Yeah. So and that's the thing. My thing is, I think of, again, I'm a business major, so I'm thinking, well, the fuck you don't know cursive. First of all, your signature, that there wouldn't be a difference. It wouldn't say print and it wouldn't say signature if they
Right.
expected your signature to be in print.
I wonder
You
what they're
understand
going
what
to
I'm
do
saying?
about that.
Right. That's very true.
So
That's very
until they
true.
change it to just name,
Print. Oof.
until they take print, I want y'all to think about
Or
everything
just
that you sign.
name. Yeah.
Mortgages, a loan, you go to the bank, you go get a job, you sign something for your kids at their school. It always says
Sign.
signature, print, and date.
Right.
Always those three. Do you understand what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
until they remove that, so we have gotten very lazy. The kids are not doing and everything is just so, hey, let me find it right here. Hey, let me find it right here. Audiobooks, you don't have to read no more because there's somebody that's gonna read this shit for you. Like,
Spell
it's so
check.
fucked up
Unbelievable.
People can't
that
even spell
somebody,
anymore.
nope. We've gotten
You
to
know,
acronym.
I
We're in an
gotta tell you the
acronym
truth.
time of,
Yeah, it's so Dutch. You're so right, man. It really is so. It's unbelievable. It really is, man. That's so true. It
Yeah.
really is
Yeah.
sad. It breaks my heart. You know, it really does.
Yeah.
Yeah. So and that's the generation that we are breeding. We it started with microwaves. It became, and then it became computers.
MTV generation.
And then as it's progressed, now it's instant everything. And it goes beyond instant food, instant love, instant views, instant likes, instant food, instant gratification,
Instagram.
Yeah, but that's where it all stems from. All these
For your
instants
news. Yeah.
are coming from social media. Your news is instant. You don't have to wait anymore. The news is constantly
That's
there.
right.
Yeah.
It's instantly. Celebrities
You want to
business,
find something
instant.
out, you ask your phone.
Yeah.
Yeah. Everything
crazy.
now is instant. It's gone from
So
instant
true.
food to instant life. Your life now is instant. Just add water.
Yeah.
But instead of add water, it's just click.
Click
And
here.
instantly, yeah, you instantly have
My God,
I can
that's so
date,
true.
I can meet somebody. I don't have to do anything. I can go right now and do like this
Swipe left.
and go
Right.
swipe left and click, and I instantly have somebody that's going to have some sort of interest. Guess what? And I can go and click on something else and instantly have some shit mailed to my house to look sexy. And then I can instantly click on something else where I can be viewed and streamed, for this person to have instant access, because I don't have to know how to talk. I don't have to know how to walk.
Right.
I don't have to do, I can just sit here. Right?
Man, it's so true. It really is. It's really sad. It really is.
It's the big curse.
It's nuts, man. It really is. No, but
Yeah.
you carry a phone around. There was kids in schools and high schools and colleges taking their test, asking their phone questions for their answers.
Wow. So
Yeah.
you're cheating.
Of
Do
course,
y'all
you're cheating.
remember when you, but
There's no
shit.
studying anymore.
When we used to cheat, though, it wasn't that fucking simple. You had to
Well, we used to write on
creatively,
our hand. How much you going to cheat writing on your hand?
or on the bottom of
I'm
your
not gonna
shoe,
lie, I
or in
did
the
that once.
inside of your arm. We had to get creative. Now, shit, you just got Google, man. You just got to not get caught. You just got to have an earbud and long hair, and make sure that Siri can hear you when you ask for the fucking answers. So now, yeah, you don't have to work for anything. Even gardening, I'm a gardener. If I don't know what's wrong with the plant, I don't have to go and ask somebody. I don't have to get in my vehicle and go ask somebody. I can instantly go on Google and take a picture and do a Google image and find out all the different shit that might. And again, that's a gift and a curse. But what's happened is it's made people very lazy. People don't want to look for shit anymore. People don't want to do anything. They don't want to go out. Why go out when you can sit here in front of all? I have like 3 monitors in here. I could sit here in front of all
a lot
of
of
these
people
monitors.
are losing their social graces. That's really true. Unbelievable.
Frank said,
Freaking me out.
all right, I'm grown.
I think I'm gonna get drunk tonight.
See, I got caught doing that on my driver's test. Wow, Frank.
That's 2005. Yeah, but do you see the difference though?
Hey, Samala, thanks for joining us.
Hey, it's really messed up, but it's a double-edged sword.
Mm-hmm.
That's the best thing that I could honestly say. It's a double-edged sword. In one instance, something that was supposed to, again, like I said, I say microwave because that was something that was supposed to help mothers be a little bit quicker with dinner. And then what's happened is over time, from fucking microwaves to fucking Insta life now, these bitches are putting their kids in front of here's Instagram. Mommy will be back. I'm going to the next room for OnlyFans. You know what I mean?
Wow. OnlyFans.
Did you see that?
Am I lying?
Did you see?
OnlyFans.
Did you see that new oven they have? The meals get delivered to you. You take them out of the pack, and there's a barcode. You put the barcode up to the oven. It knows exactly what temperature, how long to cook it, and then you take it out, and it's perfectly cooked.
I need one of those. I need that.
It's the folly.
I don't
it's the folly. I'm
gonna tell you why I don't want it.
I like my Insta life.
I don't want that because I'm a busybody and I enjoy certain shit. I don't mind a good hack because I'm one of those. I like watching on IG. My feed is different. I watch a lot of do-it-yourself crafts and a lot of premium art shit. You know, so those are the things that come up and down my timeline. So because I like little hacks and shit, a good hack I'm cool with, but it's nothing like off the top of my head. I can make certain pies and shit, and you know, my ancestors tell me when to stop seasoning shit, and I just know the temperature. Yeah. So I feel weird. You know what I mean? Over time, we no longer have to know the temperature of some shit because the oven tells you. And then pretty soon, you ain't gonna know the ingredients either because the oven's gonna tell you that shit too.
Yeah.
I mean, Alexa does that. I have Alexa in my kitchen. I don't
it's
use
really
it for
amazing. I know. Alexa, it's so true.
Yeah.
My house is a Google house. I get it. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't even have to leave a room to turn off lights.
Yeah, yeah. Whatever happened to the? Don't y'all remember the clapper?
The clapper. That shit was old news.
That was our Insta shit back then. You know, you hit the fucking clapper. You remember that old lady from the commercial?
How was everybody so excited when that came out?
Yeah,
you're right. We robots.
Yeah, absolutely, Frank. I mean, and if you think about it, when we used to see the old lady on the clapper, she'd get mad and she'd wake up and she'd be like, and the shit would go off. To us back then, that was like, oh shit, the clapper.
Hell yeah, everybody wanted one.
Shit, now
Google
Siri,
turn off the
lights.
Hey Google, turn off the garage light.
Hey Siri, measure out an eighth for a joint. Yeah, it's gonna be a fatty.
Okay, I found this on the web for measure out an eighth for a joint.
Oh my god!
Did y'all hear that?
Yes, we did.
Oh my god, man, that's crazy.
I'm having way too much fun right now, but
that's crazy, man.
We're gonna have to shut it down. We gotta shut it down. We had our hour, man.
And that's a good way to end it.
That's a great way to end it.
You ain't kidding, man.
Thank
Gosh,
you.
that was awesome.
Don't forget to like, subscribe, follow, and share. Please don't forget to like, subscribe, follow, and share.
We'll see you guys over in the next 15 minutes, 20 minutes at Ask a Virgo. We'll carry in a continuation.
Yes,
see you guys in a little bit.
Yep. Hey, Jimmy, don't hang up just yet. All right?
Yeah, Jimmy, don't leave yet. You stay right there.
All right. Good night, y'all.
Good night, everybody.
Good night.